What's a better way than celebrating an anniversary with some ice cream? Yum. Birthday cake, celebratory ice cream for my 1 year diaversary. I seriously cannot believe it's been 1 year that I was diagnosed diabetic. Okay, so let's go ahead and taste this because it's my first time trying it. I have had the other hollow top flavors, which are so good, peanut butter, cookies and cream. And I had another flavor, I can't remember what it is, but it's so good. So for a celebratory diaversary, let's take a crack open of this bad boy. No bowl, no regret. Not at all. Let's see what this tastes like. And it's awesome because it goes into focus. Sugar 6 grams, sugar alcohol 5 grams, carbs 14 grams per half a cup, which is actually pretty good, and it doesn't do anything too crazy to my sugars. This, my friends, this is good. You have to go get some. So let's get to the good stuff. It's crazy to think that I have been diabetic for 1 whole year now, and I know there's people that have been type 1 diabetic for much longer than that, but it's really crazy to think that just 1 year ago today I was in the hospital laying in bed miserable because I fell into DKA, which is a diabetic ketosis acidosis. Not fun, deadly form of diabetes. I was in ICU for a whole week. It was tough, but the food was really good that they served, so that was nice because I had no idea where to begin, where to start. It's completely different from just your standard lifestyle that you see all your friends doing, drinking, binging on sweets, and everything else that they do. It was like kind of like a culture shock, especially, I don't know, I just didn't expect it. So being in the hospital, it was definitely eye-opening for me to prepare for impact, because you never think an illness is going to happen to you. And not did I only get diagnosed with one autoimmune, but I got diagnosed with 2 autoimmunes all at the same time. And it was hard. And it's funny because the reason what brought me into the hospital was my first autoimmune that they couldn't figure out until after. But I went in to the doctors because I had a rash from my knee to my foot, all the way down on both legs, and I've never had a rash in my entire life. I'm not allergic to anything. Well, I had an outbreak from one medication, but it was like a very mild rash. So, not rash, hive outbreak. So it wasn't that big of a deal. But I'm like, I have a 1-year-old. What if this is contagious? I don't know what's going on. I literally woke up and I had rash on my leg, and I'm like, what is going on? And I was extremely thirsty. I was going through gallons of water, and at the time it was in September because I was diagnosed September 4th. And I'm like, God, it's so hot outside. And I thought it was just because I was dehydrated. Yeah, reality check. So went to the doctors, and sure enough, they're like, they didn't really say that it was diabetes, but they're like, there's something serious going on in your body, and we need to come down and figure out what is going on. So got my blood test back that same day, and it showed that my glucose levels were 500 plus, and my ketone was over 80. So I'm like, what is this? I knew it didn't sound right, but I'm like, I don't think this is supposed to be accurate numbers. Called the night nurse. The night nurse sounded like her jaw dropped on the other line, and she's like, you need to stop what you're doing. You need to rush to the ER because it sounds like you're diabetic and your blood sugars are through the roof right now. So if you don't have anyone to drive you to a nearby hospital, then you need to call the ambulance. And from there, It's been a journey, but you know what? Ironically, even though I've been diagnosed type 1 diabetic, it's it's done a lot of good for me. It's increased my knowledge of eating the right foods. I've always been healthy, but it's a different kind of healthy now, you know, between the label reading, exercising consistently. I'd go to the gym, but I wasn't that consistent as I am now. Learning between alkaline foods and acidic foods and all this different stuff. Like, it's really been awesome, even though it's kind of a curse at the same time, because it's really a battle every day. It's like you're your own scientist trying to figure out your insulin levels. You know, if your sugars are too high, then you need to make sure you get them lowered and corrected, and no matter what you do, sometimes they just don't drop down. If you wake up in the middle of the night with a super low, which happens to me, you can't go back to sleep because you're too nervous to go back to sleep because you don't want to not wake up. So you could be dead tired, but guess what? You have to keep correcting and eating and popping glucose tabs or drink a juice or whatever it is, and sometimes you could do that and it still drops again. So it's a consistent battle, but it's been so eye-opening, and I'm so thankful because it's really, again, it's, even though I have 2 autoimmune diseases, I feel great. My doctor says everything about my health is phenomenal. You know, he could tell I take really good care of myself. So it's a learning experience. We have learning curves. Sometimes we have our moments where we want to binge because we're human. Everyone has those moments. So yes, I do binge sometimes, but I pay for it later. Yes, I do. But overall, it's 1 year down, multiple years to go, aka a lifetime. And yeah, so thanks for watching my story. Happy 1 year Diaversary. You know, if you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. If you like this video, go ahead and like this video. I love to link arms with other diabetes or diabetic friends, just because, you know, I am so new to having diabetes. I want to learn what you guys are doing, what's helping you, and just meet some new friends. So, alright guys, it was nice talking to you. Until next time, have a good one. Bye.